Well, I'll make this quick and easy. I mean, this is like my fifth video about this, but I'm not gonna stop making videos. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like it's an important matter to discuss. But they got Reverend Al Sharpton on MSNBC this morning, right? And I mean, I really don't pay too much of attention to what he says because to me, he's a fucking sellout, just like that. Because of the fact that some of the things he said basically goes against black people in itself, and then the points he makes are fucking stupid, and then he tries to sound intelligent, and then fucking he tries to make it seem like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. He's really not connected with America. Just based off of this statement right here, what he tried to do was twist Bernie Sanders' words, because if Bernie Sanders was trying to make a point, you hear what I'm saying in a second, and then I'll continue to talk about it. You'll understand. You'll hear what he said in a second. I'm sorry. Because he's just talking bullshit on the news this morning. But just listen to this. Like, I can't even speak right now because it's got me that upset. But, this is real feeling here. 21 years old. Seeing what the world is like. They're leaving us with shit. Literally. If you're for what these old people are selling you, besides Bernie Sanders, you have no idea about the life that they're leaving behind for you. It's not a good one. They've made all their money. You're never going to see it. They're making sure that's only staying in their families because they're trying to become kings and queens all over again. But look, listen to this.
Well, I think what Bill said is that we should all be listening to each other, and I certainly have been listening. And I think it's important for people to recognize we have work to do, that there were a lot of people very scared and concerned about high crime back in the day. And now we've got to say, okay, we have to deal with the consequences. And one of the consequences is, in my view, over-incarceration of people who should not have been in the criminal justice system.
All right, and our next guest has been deeply involved in New York politics for decades now through his National Action Network. Of course, we are talking about the one and only Reverend Al Sharpton, also the host of Politics Nation right here on MSNBC. Reverend, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Steve.
I want to ask you about New York, but let's start on this controversy over Bill Clinton, over those comments last week. Bernie Sanders says Bill Clinton owes an apology for that. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think that the way that President Clinton responded in terms of his kind of reprimand and lecturing was inappropriate. And I think he said, in retrospect, I don't know what he means by almost apologize. But what
some people say it's a classic Clintonian in between.
But what I think we've got to be fair is both Senator Sanders and Hillary Clinton supported the crime bill. The irony of this is there is no division on what they did in '94. National Action Network and I were one of the groups saying, wait a minute, we want to see something done to crime, but this bill goes too far. He was in Congress and voted for it. She, as First Lady, supported it. So I think that we're looking at a distinction without a difference. Now, the predator statement is a different issue. But I mean, I think that clearly many of us said we think that was an offensive statement. She said she was talking about gang members. But one of the things we're going to be dealing with at the convention this week is if we're going to take her statement of 20 years ago, you've got to take his statement in the recent debate where he referred to blacks as being in the ghetto and being poor. And that was just 3 weeks ago. So how do we weigh what? But I want to make it real clear, there is no difference in '94 Clinton and Sanders on how they supported that bill.
Okay, with my last minute here. That part was straight bullshit. He talked about everyone, not just blacks, being in the ghetto and being poor. But the thing is, black people are disproportionately ghetto and poor because that's all they know. They do not know any better. America is the land of opportunity. But if people don't know that an opportunity exists to them or for them to do better, how are they supposed to take advantage of it when they don't know it exists? You understand? Because if you look at the areas they live in, their school system, their education system, everything around them is fucked up. It's complete shit. They don't know any different. That doesn't make any excuse for them to go murdering people. Of course not. But look, at the end of the day, what he said right there, he was making a statement how we need to better America, the black community, and so on and so forth. That's all Bernie Sanders was saying. For him to twist his words around, that's fucked up. And that's how you know he's a media sellout. He is a piece of shit. He does not need to be an analyst because he's a backstabbing ass nigga. That is a house nigga right there. And just that simple. I don't give a shit if this gets media play or not, but I'll tell him to his face that he's a house nigga. He can say whatever he wants.